What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Oh That's Random Podcast. I am your host, that guy, the one and only Nerdy G. If you're listening on DSPs, you heard the white guy. You know what he told you. You know what he's all about. He told you what I was about. So if this is your first time, welcome to Oh That's Random Podcast. Once again, I am your host, that guy, Nerdy G. This is the podcast where we take a little time to explore the extraordinary and ordinary. Let me say that to you one more time. This is the place where we explore the extraordinary and ordinary. So we're gonna go ahead and get this right off and started because this might be a little lengthy. But before I actually do that, because listen, why not? Like, subscribe, share, do all that good old stuff. If you want to help us out and like the content that we're putting out, listen, it is Nerdy G Shop at fortwall.com. Links in the description and all that good old stuff. Check out some of the merch. That's how you help us out here at Nerdy's Umbrella to keep pushing this forward. And check out the CPT reviews every Wednesday. There's a review just because it's what we do. All right. But let's go ahead and jump into today, what we're talking about. And this is gonna be tough for me. But this is like reality. And I have to talk about this way, just because too much hate is going around, and I think it's misdirected hate. But let me give it to you the way that I see this. And this is going to be this is about overstaying your welcome. This is to my boy, Drizzy Drake. Okay. Aubrey Drake Graham. This goes out to him, his fans, and listen, gotta give it to you, buddy. You did it. You did something that no other artist has really truly done since Michael Jackson. You done something that an artist hasn't done in this day and age, and that they know that they can't do. See, when I think about hate, you only can hate on somebody because you want to do exactly what they're doing, but you can't do it. You can be a critic, you can be a fan, you can have an opinion, but if you want to do the exact same thing that they're doing and the critique is negative, yeah, you're hating. Because secretly, it may be a good body of work, it may be a good song, it may be something that's good, but you just like, ain't for me. Ain't for me. You hating because you are mad internally because you didn't come up with it. It's not for you for you to come up with it. Technically, it is for you to come up with it, but you can't do what that person do. See, sometimes I used to have back in the day, I used to have this saying, right? Oh, I don't care about what the other person do because I can tell you everything that I do. I can give you all of the information that you need, but you're not going to do with it what I do with it. And that's hands down. I'm good at what I do. I'm great at what I do. I can give you the information and you won't do what I do with it. And that's a fact. There are multiple people out here in the world with the same exact information, and they can't put two nickels together to make anything happen. That's reality. That's what we live in today. That's what it is. So when I look at Drake, Drake has been on since 2009. 2009. We are in 2024. I want y'all to understand that. 2024. Y'all do the math. Y'all do the math. It's damn near a 15-year run. The boy is dropping albums. He's on the upcoming artists' songs. He's on their features. Remember, in the beginning, he gave out all the features. Remember, in the beginning, he did all the favors. He was like, and he reminds you, don't pay me back for none of that. You don't have to pay me back for none of that. Remember how people used to speak about Drake early on in the day? You know why? Because they didn't think he was going to be around this long. They gave him flowers early because they didn't think he was going to be around this long. They didn't think he was going to be a problem. They didn't foresee him being what he is. So they was okay with, oh yeah. I think everything for him, blah blah blah. He's gonna be this different type of artist, and then he's gonna fade to the back, and then we'll be like, yeah, remember Drake, da 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 da. Yeah, no. There was internal hate already in that. They didn't think they didn't believe that he was gonna be what he is today. The fact is, the hate that builds up is because he's been on top. We as people can't stand to see somebody on top for a very long period of time. Listen, and if they are, they have to go away and they have to come back. Here's the kicker: Drake has not gone away since 2009. If you for you Kendrick fans, the reason why you like Kendrick, because Kendrick goes away and then he comes back. He goes away and then he comes back. He leaves y'all waiting. He leaves y'all guessing. He leaves y'all, what is he doing? He builds that anticipation. He's not here in your face every single day. Let's be real about it. J. Cole, same way. Not in your face every single day. Jay-Z wasn't in our face every single day. When he retired, we gave him all the love in the world. But when he came back, Kingdom Come, American Gangster, which was a good album, 444, and he kept coming back to music, it was like, no, stop. Jay, you had your run. You had your moment. We appreciate you. We appreciate you for your run and what you did. We are more invested in what you do outside of rap now. We are more invested in your Rock Nation. We are more invested in your title. We are more invested in you being with the NFL and bringing some type of equality around. We are more invested in those things. Would some of us out here like to hear another Jay-Z album? Yes, but not really. We don't want you to try to go on another run. Because when you came back, we was like, why? You retired. You was at the top. You retired. Everybody was calling you Hove. But like I said, we didn't like you for Kingdom Come. We rocked. A lot of us rocked with American Gangster, and then of course nobody's upset about Watch the Throne. Give you that. Okay. Jordan, because I got to talk. I'm gonna talk through a bunch of these greats that have kind of overstayed their welcome and kind of got irritated. Where the people, the fans, we have gotten irritated with them. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player of all time, in my opinion, and a lot of folks' opinions too. 6-0 in the finals. He left and he came back. I want you to understand something. He left and he came back. If Jordan went on an 8-year run and won, or went on a 7-year run and won 7 championships or 8 championships, however it was, or however many, could have won 8. I don't think we would have held him in as high regards as we do today. Sometimes you need that break from your great for them to come back and say, they are great. Don't nobody talk about the Wizard years, because that wasn't who we remember. That's not who we saw. That's not who we fell in love with. That's not the Jordan that we all have come to love. Nobody wanted to be like Mike when he was on the Wizards, right? So what he had to do, he had to fall back. He fell back and he did what he had to do. He fell back and we were okay with that. We still like his Jordans. We still like his shoes. We're okay with that. All right. Brent Favre overstayed his welcome. When he retired, when he left the Packers, should have been it. That should have been it for him. He went, he did his thing in Minnesota, and we all know what happened there. And I'm just gonna put, I got notes, so y'all gonna have to see me check my notes, okay? But that's that. Tom Brady is another one. Tom Brady is another one who almost overstayed his welcome too. He didn't want to leave. He didn't want to leave the Patriots, but Belichick said, "You got to go." But we was like, "Yo, Tom, you good, man? You ain't got to do this." He went down to Tampa Bay, won a championship. He should have left then. He couldn't. He lost his wife because he chose football over her, and probably some other things too. Neither here nor there. But Tom, we know who you are. We know you are the GOAT. We know what you capable of. You won the championship after Belichick. Belichick had 2 shitty seasons, 3 shitty seasons after that. And now nobody's really calling him. Nobody's picking up the phone saying, "Hey, come coach my team." That's not there. As people, I'm gonna get back to I got a couple more on here. But as people, we sit here and we go through these things and we look at our grades and we hold our grades high. We do. We hold our grades very high. There are some that can skate by where they pop in and pop out and we don't have a problem with them. Just to name a few. Angela Bassett. She's a great pop in, pop out. She's not all in our face. She's great. I know she's an actress. I'm because I have to mix this because looking at rap, when you look at the greats or whatever the case may be, some of them had their runs, but some people runs wouldn't you wouldn't put their runs on the same level as Drake, and I understand that. I get that. I understand how that breakdown goes and how that feels or whatever the case may be. But the understanding of that piece, the understanding of how all of that breaks down, um, it's across entertainment because you have to look at them as entertainers. The athletes, we can call that a little different, but they're still they're overstaying is because they feel that they can still do it. They feel they can still perform at a high level. Um, let's talk about LeBron real quick. LeBron caught a lot of hate in his career, and nobody. At first, it was they didn't want him to pass Jordan. At first, they didn't want him to pass Jordan. Then it was or let me rephrase that. At first, it was he left Cleveland. Then they saw the lightning that he is, how great he could be. Then they didn't want him to pass Jordan because then they started seeing like, oh hey, looking at the numbers in his output, like hey, this dude could pass like Jordan up on every single statistical. And then it was like, all right, LeBron, you keep hopping back and forth. I'm a Lakers fan. I didn't like when he came to the Lakers. I'm just gonna cut the chase, and I didn't like it. He busted up my team. Brandon Ingram, Caldwell Pope, Kuzma, my god dang on guy Ball. Like it's just it would that team that young team had promise, and LeBron broke that up. I was a little ticked off about that. He went to go get Anthony Davis. He won a bubble championship. They gave him number 4. They gave him a little grace, somewhat, somehow. I don't think people really gave a cure because it was during the pandemic, and we had more things to think about and worry about. I don't think it was a time for hate, but now even with him, because now yeah he's overstayed his welcome, but the ideal of him being able to play ball with his son that has took some of that hate away. He come in here and he played one season with Bronny and done and he gone. He's good, but he's on the verge of overstaying his welcome. He's on the verge of overstaying his welcome because, like I said, we as people we do not like to see people on top and on a run for so long. Back to our guy Drake. All of these people showed you love. You made a song called Fake Love. Those of you who haven't listened to that song, go and listen to it. I feel like if you're a Drake fan and you listen to Drake, Drake have told you that this was coming. He predicted that this was coming. He put it in his songs that this was coming. When you say 20v1, yeah, it literally is 20v1. Everybody jumps out. Everybody got something to say. Everybody wants to talk. Everybody got, oh, I don't like him. Oh, I don't want to put it out there. Oh, I can't really say what I'm mad about you about. Oh, I got a diss track for you. Oh, I hate you too. Really? Really? This guy, the fact that they said the Drake stimulus package, it's real. It's real. Everybody wants to pull out every single stop and move the goalpost for other people, but when it comes to him, no, I can't even have a civilized conversation with somebody without somebody telling me that your boy is wild. Okay, let me give you an example. There's a video going around about him having a rose fall out of his pocket. I said, okay. I said, okay, if he was at a basketball game or whatever, they was like, ugh, why he freaky like that? Why he got a rose on him? Why he got to do something? Why he need one of those for? I said, is there a possibility that that if he was in one of them box offices, or you know, maybe a fan or a female gave that to him, and he was like, I'm gonna throw this shit away anyway, but it just fell out. Is that a possibility? No, it's not a possibility on that person's end, because they don't know what happened. All we saw is Drake walking and something fell out. It appeared to be a rose, and that's it. The fact is, the people will say, I don't know. I don't. You don't know, but you don't want to give Drake the benefit of the doubt. It's all about Drake's hate. They want to hate Drake. They're tired of hearing his name. They're tired of hearing every time they cut on the radio, he has a slap with someone, or he's giving someone their first number one. These people don't. I don't get it. I get it and I don't get it. I get the fact that we don't like to see people stay on top. Don't believe me? Look at Kevin Hart. We had an issue with Kevin Hart at one point in time, not because of what the Oscars did to him, but everybody wanted to take a shot at Kevin Hart because they was just like, yo, he's everywhere. He's all over the place. He's trying to put people on. He's trying to be himself in the public's eye. And because he's funny, man, and because he's in a movie with The Rock, because he's in on TV shows, because he's dropping comedy special after comedy special, because he's doing game shows, because he's figuring it out and not stop working. At one point in time, we was like, oh, we sick of Kevin Hart, because when the emails got out with Sony, and he was like, oh, he's just he's this and he's that, and he's a little horrid, and he wants the man work ethic is just that. So why are we so upset with his work ethic? Why are we so angry because he's on top for a string of years? And we know in comedy that's not that's what it appears to be in comedy. When you look at comedy, the black comedy, there's only so many people who can be on top for a period of time, and then you got to pass that torch on, and that torch don't last that long. I mean, that run doesn't last that long. But Kevin Hart has been on a run, and regardless if you don't like his movies, because there are some that are questionable, but the fact is, you see him. The fact with Drake is, you see him, you hear him, you hear his name. And the fact is, anytime that he did something, he put it in the song. Like, they talk about you for a few days. They talking about me for probably about a month. His arrogance, the way that he carries himself. Sometimes y'all get upset because you want to be in that position. You want that run. Maybe you felt that you had a run, and that jealousy just like, why they talking about him like that? He's not the GOAT. He's not this. Listen, the man is the greatest entertainer. He is probably, when it comes to artistry, he's probably the best artist, period. The fact that he can switch his tones, the fact that he can, try different things and it's not bad. The fact that he can try different things and it's not bad is not saying that the man can't do what he do. What it's saying is the man is good at what he does. He's great at what he does. There are people who've come out and claimed that he's a writer. He's one of the best writers. These clips people ignore. These clips people ignore. Your greats, the people that you champion, Kanye, ASAP, Kendrick, these people that you guys champion have said these great things. Kanye said, if I could, I would have Drake to just give Drake my thoughts and let him write for me. Y'all don't understand that. That's what Kanye said on Drink Champs. Go check it out. He said that. The clips is not edited. So the fact that these people are telling you that this man is a writer, yet we got to pull back and say, hey, he's not a writer. He works with collaborators. I'm not a rapper. Okay? I'm not a rapper. They say in the process, sometimes somebody feeds you a line or somebody tells you to say it a certain way, okay, that's not you writing for me. That's me writing something. You heard it and you said, hey, you should say it this way. Or somebody saying, hey, these bars are this. These bars are hard, but what if you rapped it in this cadence? In that instance, that's not a ghostwriter. At that instance, that's a producer stepping in and saying, hey, this is dope, but what if you did it this way? Or how about if you tried it this way? That's like a producer credit. If I'm not mistaken, that's like a producer credit or something. It's not a writer credit because they didn't write the material. Everybody's talking about all of these reference tracks that's coming out. Okay, reference track. If I produced a track and I said the best way for me to, I can't just tell you, let me show you. So here's a cadence. Here's how it's supposed to sound. If you can mimic this, that doesn't question your pen. They're just saying that you collaborated with somebody to say, here's a sound. Try out this sound. Nobody wants to hear that. I'm saying this right now. Nobody wants to hear this. It's a sound. If I ask you to try this sound out, if I ask you to try out something new and you try it and you like it and it's a slap and it works, then what are we talking about? It's not a ghostwriting allegation. It's somebody help produce. All these nerds out here, all these music nerds said, hey, these people are credited on these songs and on these albums. Say that he likes to collaborate. On the pop songs, collaborate your ass off all you want to. On these rap songs where you're rapping bars, everybody keep on talking about the timestamps. Okay, cool. So if he got these timestamps and he wrote that out, that's him. That's what he felt in that moment. He wrote that. Okay, cool. No reference tracks comes out to that. Fine. But if y'all are telling me that as a collaborator, nobody can give me direction and say something this way or try it this way, then y'all out of y'all rabbit ass mind. In football, they tell you, yo, this scheme doesn't work for you. Try this scheme for this defense. If the 3-4 scheme is not working for the players that you have, and somebody comes in and say, switch it up and do a 4-3 or run the nickel, that's not them ghost writing or ghost coaching. That's them saying, hey, coach, hey, try something different. That's not that. I'm not understanding how people are getting this mixed up. People say he's a writer. They tell you that he's a writer. He does pop songs. We know that in pop songs that there are collaborations. We know that in R&B there are people who write for songs for people. So if you're writing songs for people, I can write the song. I can't sing worth the lick. My pen is mighty, but I can't sing worth the lick. But I give it to Joe Blow, and Joe Blow go sing his behind off. What's the difference? He took something that I couldn't vocally sing these words, but he sung them. I give my credit. It's not a ghostwriting allegation. It's okay for him to sing my song that I wrote. He's going to perform it. He's going to get paid off of it. I'm going to get paid off of it, and it's all good. But there's no issue with that. But when it comes to rap, it seems as every concept, every thought, every bar, every cadence, every whatever, they have to solely do it on their own. And we know that is not to be true in rap. We know that people have collaborators. We know that there are people in the studio telling folks, no, say it this way. Hey, try saying it that way. Hey, you should throw this line in there. This will be a bar, or whatever the case may be. If that's the case, then get off Drake nuts. You probably can say I'm on his nuts right now, but I'm not. What I'm saying is this is about people overstaying their welcome. Drake has overstayed his welcome. Let's put it out there. He has overstayed his welcome, that the hate has boiled over so much that it doesn't even make any flipping sense. That how do you have the bots jumping on him? Granted, They say Drake used bots in the past. Okay, sure, fine, figure it out. Everybody wants to show me the proof. Okay, if he did, he did. But the hate, the people that's coming out and saying what they're saying, where at one point in time in Drake's career, let's be honest, it looks like he could not lose. Even with the Pusha T beef, it looked like, oh, he lost it. Yeah, he lost that because of the song, but the reality is it didn't affect him. So even when he lost, he won. And I think a lot of people hate that about him. How does this person, when we think we got him, when we think we figure him the fuck out of here, he is still winning. Even when he takes a loss, he's still winning. He still comes back. He's stronger. He's better. Look, when Meek came out with the whole allegation thing, what did we do? He dropped, charged up. We was like, that was mad. Then he came back with back to back. And when he came with back to back, everybody was like, oh, gotta shut up because that's a hit. Yeah, it is. It is. And then what did he do? He kept on dropping hits. He kept on being who he is. We can't be mad at Drake for being who Drake is. If y'all come out and tell me that Drake is not who the person that he's put on, or because we don't know him personally. Let's just say this: the artist Drake. If the artist Drake is not the artist that he's portrayed to us and put out here on display for us to see this whole entire time, if he is not that person, then that artist is something different. Then right, then that's a different conversation. When we look at him, he is who he is. We don't really, I don't think that we really want people to evolve. I don't think we want our greats to evolve. We like them in one moment and we stay there. We fall in love with that one. Kendrick said it. Oh, we don't. I don't like the talking tough Drake. I like the singing Drake. The fact is, you like him, but you like him for this, but you hate him for that. It's just like with Eminem. They said, hey, they loved him in the beginning, and then when he started doing that double tap stuff, they hated him for that. When Jay-Z started rapping his age, people didn't like that. Oh, no, this is some grown folk stuff. You like your greats for how you were introduced to them, when those moments meant a lot to you in your life. People loved them then, and that's how that worked, and that's how that played out, right? Same with Usher. You love Usher for a period of time. You love him for this music, right? For me, it was From My Way up until Confessions. I see Usher in that light. That is my R&B legend. That's the light that I see him in. And during that period of time, Usher could do no wrong. Even when he had the issues with his wife, we all took, even after that, like, because his wife came after Confessions, I want to believe. But even after that, we took Usher's side on everything. And that's cool. And then look at the resurgence. He's been quiet. He's been still around, but he's been kind of quiet. And then he picked back up with his Vegas residency, and then he dropped the album. And when we look at him, it's like he hasn't been in our face this entire time. We know he's there, and anytime he drops something, we go. But he's not just in our face. The thing is, Drake is in our face. He's been in our face for the last 15 years, and it's like he's at the top of the rap game. He's at the top of the entertainment game. Him, Tay Swift, and it's just like the people who consume hip-hop music, the people who consume this culture, I don't know what it is about us that we can't stand to see one person do it for this long. We can't stand the things that he does. It itches our skin. It makes us crawl, right? A lot of guys behind doors, 6 God worshiping. The man has been telling you, when they say, oh, he's taking shots at a certain person and this person, hey, maybe true, that's directed to that person, but I think that some of them shots go to a hole, go to a lot of these other folks. And maybe that's why they feel in some way, because they, you know what they say, a hurt dog holler, a hit dog holler, or whatever it is. Yeah, a hit dog holler. So some of them may be feeling away. They may be hurt because Drake did the favor for them. and now he's unavailable to them because he's the boy for whatever reason. Some of these guys feel a certain way. He is one of our legends that, in my opinion, he has overstayed his welcome. And when you overstay your welcome in this culture that we call hip hop, this is what happens. Jay-Z got the hell out of here before it happened. Eminem has been weathering the storm, but he got the hell out of here too. Some of our legends that have done it great in hip hop, I would have to say LL Cool J. I would have to say Busta Rhymes. I would have to say, um, I mean, Nelly. I don't care what y'all say. Nelly's a great. Um, Little Wayne, you would have to say that because at one point in time, I think like the transition to Young Money of him putting Nicki, McMain, Tiger, Drake on, that was the cut to say, okay, hey, Wayne has been doing this for however long, and he had a rough patch once Juvenile and them left Cash Money. That was a rough patch, and then when we came back, there was a difference as well. There was like a difference when the resurgence of him doing mixtape Wheezy, and he was killing it. The Drought 3, one of the greatest mixtapes that he has, period, in my opinion. But when you look at that, it's just like, okay, we got him, and then he went on his run, and then best rapper alive, and we like, damn, yeah, he is. And then he flipped it and he switched. He put Nicki on, he put Drake on, he put Tiger on, he hopped on their songs, but he wasn't overbearing. Wayne has not been overbearing when we look at this. Wayne has not been overbearing, and so he's kind of falling back, but we appreciate every time he comes out. He's another one of those greats that has done it to where he's been at the top. We consider him still to be at the top, but he pops in and pops out. And when he's not in our face every single day, we don't hear about him every single day. We don't see him jumping on, hopping on every single new artist's sound. And he has the exact. I don't want to say that he has the exact same sound, but when you get Wayne, you know what you're getting. With Drake is gonna be versatile. He's gonna give you different versions of himself. He's going to give you different versions of his artistry. Let me say that. He's going to give you different versions of his artistry, and he's going to try some things because he has been afforded the opportunity to say, hey, I've gave my obligation to my contract. Now I want to try some slaps. So if I want to put together a reggae album, if I want to do a joint album with 21, if I want to just take some of these old slaps that, hey, I know they slaps, I'm gonna throw them out anyway and put them on tape. He can do that. He has been afforded that. Not everybody is afforded that opportunity to be able to do that. Beyonce is one of those people who can do whatever the hell she wants to musically, right? That's why we got a country album. We know that a rock album is coming next. Same thing with Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift can do whatever the hell she wants to do. She can drop whatever kind of album she wants to, and people are going to go listen. We probably not receive it well, but we're going to go listen, and we're not going to be upset about what it is that they dropped. We're just going to be like, okay, hey, it was for me or it wasn't for me. We're still going to be fans of those people. These are entertainers who have, like I say, these are entertainers who have stepped back and done it. They're still our legends. They're still at the top of their craft, but they've done it in a way to where they're not in our face. With Drake, he's just been in our face for the past 15 years. And I think people are tired of it. I think people are upset about it. I think people hate because it's like the in thing to do right now. Hating on Drake is a trend right now, and that is crazy, in my opinion, and that's just what it is. Listen, I feel like I've been beating a dead horse. I feel like I've been going a little bit long-winded with this one. I think I could still add more to this conversation because it is just sad. You can't counter at this point. I saw people online. I know I'm gonna wrap this up, but I just seen so many people online. Every everything that Drake said, they had a counter for it. Everything that Drake did, they had a counter for it. It was this, that, and the third. It was just like they couldn't. They didn't want Drake to win in this instance. They didn't want to give him no wiggle room to win. They didn't want to give him no wiggle room to flip this. They didn't want him to They was like, no, we trying to bury him. It was nasty what Kanye said. Hey, we all came to the studio. We was happy about getting Drake, getting him the fuck out of here. We were happy about getting this man out of here. That is nasty for you to want to get, for 20 guys want to get one person out of here. It doesn't make sense. It's not for us to make sense of it. Maybe later on, maybe when we're, I don't know, 50, 60, maybe we'll get the documentary. Maybe we'll see what's going on. Maybe they'll talk about it. Maybe some of us will be here to see it. Maybe some of us won't. But until then, hell, we just got to enjoy what is in front of us, take what we can, read the tea leaves, and if they piece it up, if they don't, if somebody got the balls to jump out the window, one person say what it is, and then as everybody else been doing, the dog piling, hey, I got a story too. Hey, I got a story too. I got a story too. All it takes is one person to jump out the window with their story, and maybe everybody else to jump out the window as well. Who will be that brave soul? We don't know. Metro, you started it. Abel, aka The Weeknd, you have an opportunity to do it. All of y'all do. Which one of y'all are going to be brave enough to come out and say what it really is and why he made y'all so mad? But neither here nor there. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into today's musical selection. And everybody else, on YouTube, you guys are not getting this, but I do appreciate y'all and I love y'all. But let's get into this, and I'll get right back and I'll close out the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Listen, food for thought. Be yourself. Be who you are meant to be. If you don't know how to do that, figure it out. Go talk with somebody. Live it up. Figure it out. Figure it out. That's my deal to you. Figure it out. Food for thought. Be who you're supposed to be. If you don't know, go figure it out. Go do some things. Go have some life experiences. Go figure it out. That's all I can say to you. Listen, when you on the top of your game, know when to walk away. No matter if you're an artist, no matter if you are the guy at McDonald's, the manager, know when to walk away. Know when you came in and for a period of time you were the guy. You were the person, you excelled in your position. You shouldn't be stagnant. You shouldn't be in the same position for 10, 8, 9 years and just thinking that is A-okay. You're not saying that you can't perform at a high level for that amount of time, but the reality is you got to do something different. You got to switch it up. You got to evolve. We're like they say, we go through the rain. We don't get to the storm and just stay there. We go through the rain. You got to continue to evolve as a person. You're going to learn every single day. Don't hold on to the past. Okay? Holding on to the past is going to lead you down a dark path where you're going to start feeling self-doubt, and because you're talking about what you used to do. We're talking about today, what you're doing today. How have you improved your skills? How have you evolved as a person? How have you evolved in your role to where you are still that person? Listen, we're not meant to reign for years on end. When it's your time, you step away. Roman Reigns was holding it down for WWE the later half of 2021, and he stepped away. Cody got it right now. WWE is popping. He stepped away. That's what a great does. A great realizes, hey, this was my time. This was my era. This is what I did. Now let me step away. Let me let somebody else come in and get this. They'll still love me because what are they doing now? We want Roman. We want Roman. You don't get him. He gave you what he gave you, and now he moved on to elevate himself, to evolve himself. Drake, sir, my guy, you've given this game everything and some. We appreciate you. We hold you high regard, but fade back. Do something different. We'll still love you when you come back. I promise you that. Listen, this is Oh, that's Random Podcast. This is the podcast where we explore the extraordinary and ordinary. Took a little bit longer today, but we got it here. This is the message. We did it. We did what we had to do, and I appreciate you guys. Listen, I got some of the merch on right now. It's called. This is some of the nerdy merch. Own it. It's yours. If you know what it is, you know what it is. Get it. Nerdyg.shop at fourthwall.com. I'm gonna put the links in the description. You guys know what it is. Until next time, I'm your host, that guy, the one and only Nerdy G, and I'm out.